Welcome to The Holistic Entrepreneur with holistic nurse practitioner, success coach, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie and her expert guests share tips, tools, and strategies to achieve success on your holistic entrepreneur journey. Each show features answers to common entrepreneur challenges, along with a healthy dose of support and motivation. Now, please welcome the host of The Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Welcome, everyone. This is Bonnie Groessl, your host here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. Now, today we're going to talk about mindset for 2020. Now, last week I didn't really have a voice, so what I did was I played a recording for you from 2018 about believing in yourself, and I think that was a good sort of segue and introduction to our talk for today. Now, I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But first, I always want to take a moment to thank you for spending time with me here on the show. I know that time is our most precious asset, and so I always want to make sure that these shows are value-packed so that you feel your time was well spent. And I also promised, which I didn't do last week because it was recording, but I also promised to do one angel card from an oracle deck as sort of our thought for the week, for the rest of the week. And so the card that comes to us today is from the Healing with the Angels deck. And the card is Signs. And I love this card. I love this whole deck because it's really only one or two words, so they don't write a lot of things on it. So when I hold an angel card, I look at the image that's illustrated on the card and feel what the meaning is that they want me to share with you. And the message that I get for you today is that we don't always notice the signs, do we? So this is a reminder, as all of these cards really are, because we know this stuff, at some level. So this is a reminder to notice the signs. If you get, an aha moment, if you notice something in your environment, if something happens kind of out of the ordinary, notice those signs. They're all coming from that higher self and will lead you on your path to success. So that's your reminder, I guess, not just an angel message, but it's a reminder for the week this week. Now, I think being a holistic entrepreneur is really more about who you are than what you do for a living. You come from that heart-centered place and you want to make a difference in the world. Perhaps that's you, and that's why you've decided to join us on the show today. So if this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've tuned in before, welcome back. I hope that you find this will be another great show with insights to help you on your entrepreneur journey. Now, I mentioned a couple weeks ago that with the new year, I decided to simplify the links on the show page because there's so many things on there, and not everyone accesses the show page. So I created a separate website called Bonnie Links. It's just my name and links at BonnieLinks.com. BonnieLinks.com. That's where you're going to find everything. I'll still have a few links on the show page for those of you who are used to looking at that. But all the other special offers and things I have to share with you will always be on BonnieLinks.com. Now, if I have a guest on the show, then their link will also be on the show page as well as on Bonnie Links. So I want to make sure you'll be able to get that. And, maybe you have a message to share, or someone or have an idea for someone to be a guest on the show. Have them reach out to me. All my links to connect with me on, my website, Facebook, and other places is on BonnieLinks.com too. So it's all there. Now, the other thing that's on that page right now, and it should be there pretty often, but there's a special gift event that I participate in. It's called Build Your Successful Online Business. And what it is, it's like 40 or 50 guests who contribute gifts to this gift event. And it runs every month. So for the time that I'm involved with it, I will have that link on BonnieLinks.com for you as well. Now, the gift event going for January closes in just a few days. It ends on the 30th. It's always going to be like the second 2 weeks of each month. So you can find that on BonnieLinks.com too. And as a reminder, the information presented here is educational, inspirational, and motivational in nature, but I always want you to just take what fits for you and simply let go of the rest. This show does not intend or imply to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I always want to remind all of us of that little caveat because, I want people to take care of themselves. So let's get into our topic for today, talking about our mindset for 2020. I mean, we're entering a new year. Holy cow, a new decade. And I love Audrey Hepburn's quote, and I use this all the time. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. I love that. So I think that's what 2020 is all about. How about you? Do you believe that anything is possible? Think about what the last decade has been like for you. Perhaps you had struggles or challenges. Well, if so, realize that that's the past. That's behind you, and you're moving forward. You're starting over. And mindset is so critical to success that's why I really wanted to spend a little bit of time as we begin 2020 in January to really make sure that we have a good foundation. And it begins with your belief in your mindset. Now, last week I ran a show on believing in yourself, and if you missed it, go back and listen to it because I think it's a great show. I listen to it, and it's my own show. I listen to it every now and then just to kind of remind me of the things I already know about believing in myself too. Tony Robbins has many quotes, but I really like this one in particular. The only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself. So if you want things to be different this year, tell yourself a different story. That's what that says to me. Now, I want to share with you some tips that I've learned over the years. They're in no particular order, and we're probably not going to get to everything, but it's really just sort of a brain dump that I've had with lessons that I've learned along the way of being an entrepreneur. So I'm going to get through, as many of these as I can today. And if we need to have another episode on it down the way for the rest of them, we can do that because I'm certainly not going to cover all of mindset in the time that we have together today. But let's begin with some of the ones that I think are pretty important. One of them is to accept failure. I think the word failure gets a bad rap. It's a necessary part of the process. It's part of the journey. We learn from our mistakes, and failure is how we succeed. Without failure, we wouldn't be able to succeed. So think back on how many times you felt like you failed. But really, perhaps it was just what you needed to get to the next level, or it was a lesson you really needed to learn. It was, doing something different or learning something new to have a better outcome the next time. That all came from that feeling of failure, right? So anticipate failure and welcome it. It's not a bad thing. Another little lesson is to let go and delegate. You don't have to do it all alone. This has been a big lesson for me because I'm one of those people who likes to do everything myself. So letting go. Spend your time sharing your brilliance, doing the things that you do best, the things you love to do, and then delegate the rest. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to love everything you do, but try to delegate most of the stuff that you don't like. If it's not the best use of your time and talents, then pass it on to somebody else. Spend your time on doing what makes you shine. That brilliance zone. So ask yourself, if you're doing something, ask yourself, is this the best use of my time, or could I get somebody else to do it? A virtual assistant, even having a Fiverr person do it. There are lots of freelance sites out there that you can always find help in doing stuff. So you can always delegate to someone else. Another lesson is always be willing to learn. This is huge, and I think all successful entrepreneurs are lifelong learners. You learn new skills, new theories about your ideal client, how to do things more efficiently. And then, you have time to enjoy your life, not just work all the time if you're learning new things, because that in itself is going to make you more efficient. There are tons of resources on the web. And this is something that I have in my community, and I don't know if every community library has this. But if you're familiar with Ask Lynda, it's Ask Lynda. It's got tons of courses on there. Just a multitude of things. And there's a monthly fee. I think it's $25 or $50 a month. But many of the local libraries allow you to access Ask Lynda for free. All you need is a library card. And so that's what I do. I have a library card, and that gets me into all that awesome information. So always be learning. There's no shortage of stuff out there. Now, sometimes you have to discern if it's the good stuff or not, but there's tons of information out online. So be willing to learn, because that's just part of the game. It's just part of the game. Another lesson is to trust your intuition. Now, your gut reaction might be just that, a gut reaction. So that's not really what I mean here, but trusting your intuition is that feeling in your gut, but it's not a reactionary thing. Tune in to that inner guidance. Check in with your higher self. Spend some time with it, meditate, reflect, pray on it, whatever it is that you do, and then trust that. That's the hard part. I mean, we all oftentimes will ask for guidance, and then when it comes to us, we kind of don't accept it. So allow it when it comes to you. Another lesson is to be positive and to expect the best to happen. Now, this may go without saying, but be really honest with yourself. Do you imagine a great outcome or achieving something, and then there's that little voice saying, no, that'll never work? What emotions come up for you when you think about money? Is it the bills that you need to pay, or how you're going to meet payroll next month? Or is it imagining wealth and abundance and feeling like you already have it? Being grateful for already being there, even if you can't see it in your physical reality at the moment. Being positive and expecting the best to happen is a whole episode in and of itself. And actually, a lot of these can be broken up into future episodes, and maybe that's what I'll do with these, because I'm really just hitting the highlights today. Another lesson is to be persistent and patient. Kind of two different things. The only people who fail, really, are those who quit. That's where the persistence comes in. If you don't quit, you're going to succeed. And then it's all about divine timing. That's where the patience part comes in. It may not make any sense to you at the moment, but go with it. Whatever your situation is, know that it always works out. Be patient. Know that you're on the path. Another lesson is be ambitious. You have to feel inspired and go after what you want, because nobody can do that for you. Nobody can choose for you, just like we can't choose for other people. We probably all know people who are not very ambitious, and that's fine as long as they're happy. There's nothing wrong with that. But we probably also know people that complain about their situation and just are unhappy in their job or whatever it is, but then do nothing to change it. I don't have a whole lot of empathy for those people, because it's a choice. And it's a choice that only they can make. So I'm saying to you to be ambitious and go after what you want, because you're the only one who can do that for you. Now, I want to share one more with you today, and then we'll save the rest for another time. And then next week, we're going to do our group angel reading. And some of these things might come up again. Who knows? So the last one I want to share with you is to constantly be in action. It kind of goes along with ambition. You can wish and hope and pray and do affirmations till you're blue in the face, but nothing happens without taking action. Keep track. I'm a list person, and I love doing a list more for the things I can cross off, and then it makes me feel good, than the list that I create in the first place. It's that feeling of accomplishment when you can actually physically see you crossing something off your list. So if that's helpful to you, use that little strategy. Every day we should be doing something for our business. You don't have to do it all day or really much of the time at all. It might just be moments of gratitude, thinking of something in a different way, pretending as if. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but something every single day, at least one thing. The more you do it, the better it is. Now, next week, we'll have our group angel reading, as I mentioned, and this is probably enough for you to sort of think about for the next week, all of these lessons. And there are more. Like I said, I'm not going to get to them all today. And then these are such powerful topics that we might create just whole shows out of them. And so we'll do that as the year unfolds. But I wanted to sort of follow up on our discussion on belief from last week, even though I didn't do it live, with these to get you kind of in the groove. And then we'll go into our angel reading next week and see what messages there are for all of us then. So until next time, remember to notice the signs around you. Pay attention to your mindset and listen to your intuition. And believe that anything is possible as long as you believe in yourself. Well, thank you for joining me here at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. If you would like to learn how you can be a sought-after guest on popular podcasts, how to produce your own show, or even how to use content marketing to grow your business, go to bonnielinks.com and check out the offers that I have for you there. bonnielinks.com, BonnieLinks.com, is also where you can sign up for my monthly newsletter, the Holistic Entrepreneur Update. It comes straight to your email with an update from me and all of the links to the last month's shows, just in case you missed anything. Now, this newsletter also gives you access to the show's guest gift page, where you can access all the great gifts from my guests over the years. And don't forget to subscribe to The Holistic Entrepreneur on your favorite podcast directory so that you'll automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. The Holistic Entrepreneur is brought to you by M&B Global Solutions.